Imagine a creature that can live forever, or an animal that can run straight up a vertical cliff face without blinking. How about a master of disguise that can turn completely invisible to its predators? For centuries, we've created comic book heroes with impossible powers. But the real superheroes are already here, walking, swimming, and flying right among us. Welcome to the world of documented biological facts. We're counting down 10 real animals that literally have superpowers, from the creature that unlocked immortality to the sniper fish that never misses a shot. Stay tuned, because the power of nature is about to blow your mind. Let's dive in. 1. Alpine Ibex and the secret of the tin can. The famed alpine ibex goat can run up walls at death-defying angles. You can call it the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle of goats, but it's more like the mountain master of mobility. The power wall crawling and gravity defiance. The science behind the superpower. How do they defy gravity? It's all in their hooves, which are engineered like a perfect piece of mountain climbing gear. The hoof is split into two hooves, bit like two grappling hooks, but the real secret is the bottom. The outside rim of the hoof is hard and sharp, perfect for hooking onto tiny rock ledges. Meanwhile, the center pad of the hoof is soft and rubbery, providing incredible friction and grip, almost like a high-performance tire. This dual-texture design allows them to cling to surfaces with only a few square centimeters of contact, even on sheer rock faces or the vertical walls of man-made dams, the feet. They often perform these impossible climbs, not just for fun, but to lick essential salts and minerals that have leached out onto the rocks. Imagine risking your life just for a lick of salt. This incredible adaptation ensures their survival in environments where no other large mammal could hope to tread. 2. The Tauratopsis dawny jellyfish is going to live forever, move over. Thor, say hello to the animal with the ultimate superpower, biological immortality. For over 25 years, scientists have been trying to crack the code of the Tauratopsis dawny jellyfish, often called the Immortal Jellyfish. The power, transdifferentiation, and eternal life. The science behind the superpower. When this tiny jellyfish S, smaller than your pinky fingernails, faced with physical damage, stress, or just plain old age, it doesn't die. Instead, it pulls off a biological magic trick called transdifferentiation. It essentially reverts its cells back to their earliest stage, transforming from a mature, reproducing jellyfish back into an immature polyp. Think of it like an adult butterfly turning back into a caterpillar, then starting its entire life cycle all over again. The implications. This process can, theoretically, be repeated ad infinitum, making the jellyfish biologically immortal. It may still be eaten by a predator or succumb to disease, but it will never die of old age. Scientists are intensely studying the specific genetic mechanisms, particularly the activation of certain genes and the lengthening of telomeres in a race to understand how this natural fountain of youth could potentially be reverse-engineered to lengthen or even indefinitely extend the human lifespan. This little creature is holding the keys to immortality. 3. Is that a chainsaw or a lyrebird? It's not Black Canary's sonic shriek, it's far cooler. Meet the lyrebird, a creature whose deceptive talent is the ultimate camouflage. The power omnivocal mimicry, the science behind the superpower. The lyrebird has one of the most complex vocal organs of any bird, the syrinx. This allows it to reproduce sounds with astounding accuracy and volume. What's truly incredible is their ability to weave these sounds into a complex, spontaneous performance. They don't just mimic other birds. They mimic the sounds of their entire environment. Researchers have recorded them flawlessly copying a camera shutter, a car alarm, a dog barking, construction tools, and even human voices. The purpose: the male lyrebird uses this repertoire primarily for mating. The more elaborate, complex, and varied his song, the more attractive he is to a female. Essentially, the lyrebird uses an advanced, nature-based sampling machine to prove he is the strongest, most resourceful male in the area. It's the animal kingdom's version of a spectacular talent show used to find a partner. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a Lausanne albatross. Superman is impressive, but he needs a whole planet's gravity to get his powers. The Lausanne albatross just needs the wind. The power, perpetual gliding, and energy-neutral flight. The science behind the superpower. An albatross can travel tens of thousands of miles on wind currents without ever flapping its wings. Their secret is a technique called dynamic soaring. They fly into the wind at an angle to gain altitude, then turn and dive downwind to convert that altitude back into speed. By repeatedly harvesting energy from the slight differences in wind speed just above the ocean surface. They can travel massive distances, expending virtually no energy. The stat: the albatross has the largest wingspan of any bird, often exceeding 11 feet over 3.3 meters. This massive, aerodynamically perfect wing, combined with a locking mechanism in their shoulder joints that allows them to hold their wings rigid without muscle strain, makes them the most efficient flyers on Earth. They spend up to 90% of their lives airborne, often flying around the globe several times in a single year, making them the ultimate feathered nomads. 5. Cuttlefish, invisible menace. How cool is it that a cuttlefish can make itself invisible? Not entirely invisible, but close enough to make Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four jealous. The power, biophotomic camouflage, instant invisibility. The science behind the superpower. The cuttlefish is the ultimate shapeshifter. Its skin is covered in 3 layers of specialized organs. 1. Chromatophores. These are tiny pigment-filled sacs. By controlling the muscles around them, the cuttlefish can instantly stretch or compress these sacs to change the color and intensity of their skin from yellow to red to brown. 2. Iridophores. These reflect light to create shimmering, metallic, or iridescent colors like greens and blues. 3. Leucophores. These scatter white light, helping them match the brightness and contrast of their surroundings, often making them seem to disappear entirely. The feat. The cuttlefish is capable of generating up to 200 different body pattern displays for camouflage, courtship, and startling predators. What's more, they can camouflage themselves against a background, even when they are not looking at it directly, suggesting their skin receives and interprets visual cues independently, a true evolutionary marvel. 6. A salamander superhero might be the cutest thing ever. This is the power Wolverine dreams of, you guys. Salamanders can regrow their limbs, spinal cords, parts of their brain, hearts and eyes, with a real regenerative healing factor. The power, perfect tissue regeneration. The science behind the superpower. When a salamander loses a limb, the cells at the wound site stop being regular cells and turn into a mass of unspecialized stem cells called a blastema. This blastema then knows exactly how to rebuild the missing part bone, muscle, skin, and even nerves without any scarring. They don't just heal the wound, they perfectly replicate the original structure. The research scientists are intensely focused on the molecular pathways that control this process. If researchers can reverse engineer the salamander's healing power, it could revolutionize medicine, leading to treatments for spinal cord injuries, severe burns, and potentially lengthening the human lifespan by replacing damaged organs and tissues. The seemingly simple salamander holds the secret to conquering many of humanity's most complex biological challenges. 7. Watch out, Spider-Man. Here comes an electric eel. Most kids go through a phase where they can't get enough. Information about piranhas and electric eels, even though their name sounds like a comic book villain, their ability to produce an electric shock is very real and devastating. The power bioelectrogenesis, high voltage, stunning. The science behind the superpower. The electric eel isn't actually an eel, it's a type of knife fish. Its power comes from 3 pairs of abdominal organs, main organ, the hunter's organ, and the sacs organ, which are composed of thousands of muscle cells called electrocytes. These cells are stacked like tiny batteries. When the eel hunts, it simultaneously opens ion channels in all these cells, allowing positive ions to rush out and generating a synchronized massive current. 8. How cute would a hummingbird be in a little red suit? If you've ever seen a hummingbird in flight, you know it's an amazing creature, but its superpower is pure unrivaled speed. The power, relative hyperspeed, and perpetual hovering. The science behind the superpower, hummingbirds are the fastest vertebrates on Earth relative to their size. A scientist measured them, moving at up to 385 body lengths per second, BLPs, around 27.3 meters per second. To put that in perspective, a fighter jet going that fast, relative to its size, would be clocking over 21,000 miles per hour. They achieve this by utilizing the fastest moving muscles of any vertebrate, beating their wings up to 80 times per second. The maneuver, unlike any other bird, their wings move in a figure-8 pattern, generating lift on both the forward and backward stroke. This allows them to perform their most famous power, perpetual hovering, flying backwards, sideways, and staying perfectly still in midair to feed. This is the only bird capable of such complete aerial mastery, making it the most agile flyer in the entire animal kingdom.